Dependability isn't a piece of hardware, it's peace of mind. It's the confidence you get from knowing that every time you get behind the wheel, you're in a vehicle that's capable and reliable. Dependability isn't driving just any brand. It's driving the #1 most dependable mass market brand 3 years in a row by J.D. Power.
It's time for another Wild Breakaway presented by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Alongside Ryan Carter, I'm Audra Martin. Unfortunately, Minnesota's 4-game win streak comes to an end tonight at the hands of the Vancouver Canucks. Their top-ranked offense held to just 2 goals, so that's a good sign for Minnesota. But unfortunately, the Wild also blanked for the first time this season.
Yeah, again, I think they wanted to accomplish a couple of things. You want to keep the high-scoring talent, Pettersson, Besser, JT Miller, Quinn Hughes off the score sheet. And they did that for the most part, but it was the depth of Vancouver that found a way to solve the Wild. They're pressing a little bit for offense. They didn't get it early on when they dominated this game. So maybe a little cheat entered, and all of a sudden that opened things up for Vancouver to counterpunch. They did. Their depth scored, got 2 goals, and that's all they needed because Casey DeSmith was great.
Yeah, Casey DeSmith now a perfect 5-0-0 all-time against the Minnesota Wild, picking up his first shutout of the season, 10th of his career. And with it, Vancouver ends Minnesota's win streak. They also pick up their first win against Minnesota since January 12th of 2020. That was an 8-game streak for Minnesota, also coming to an end here tonight. Let's check in with John Hines after the first loss in his tenure with Minnesota.
We didn't manage the puck well, and then we wound up getting half ice, and I thought that gave them momentum. And that's probably the first game out of the first 4 where we didn't have a lot of clean entries off the rush, and I think that we are a very good forechecking offensive zone team. We just got to make sure that we're reading the right plays at the offensive blue line to then set our game up like we had in the first.
2 down, 2 to go on this 4-game road trip. Up next, a quick turnaround as the Wild take on the red-hot Edmonton Oilers, and then wrapping things up on Sunday against the Seattle Kraken. But the Oilers wins in 5 straight, outscoring the opposition 26-8 in that stretch. Another good test coming ahead for the Minnesota Wild. We look forward to seeing you for that battle in just a few hours. Until then, for Ryan Carter, I'm Audra Martin. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Wild Breakaway presented by Luther Kia of Bloomington.